So less than an hour ago, my local bike shop called Van Export finally sent me my message telling me that these babies have arrived. Look at that, guys. These are the Schwalbe Rocket Rons, but look at the size. These are 650B 2.6 inch wide tires. Those are massive, but not quite plus yet, and I'm hoping that these tires are going to fit on my Canyon Nerve or Canyon Neuron. I've got a review on it if you click right there on the little card. Let's see what's actually in this box. It's just a nice box. It's just the stickiest rubber compound that I've ever felt, but let's open it up. So, like the usual Schwalbe tires, it comes in a box. It's very nicely packaged for something that's just going to be covered in mud in, well, basically less than a day. There's nothing in. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Holy crap. Going to boost the exposure here ever so slightly. Look at these tires, dude. There's a little booklet. They're tubeless easy. These are the snakeskin tubeless easy models. I'm not going to run them tubeless at the start, but I might do that in a future episode. I'm too lazy and I don't want to get sealant all over me. Look at the size of these tires. Alright, so I just came back from a 4-hour ride on the Rocket Ron 2.6s. I'm just completely covered in mud. It's pretty silly really how muddy it is outside, which makes it like worst case scenario for these tires. So I fit these yesterday night because basically I have like the patience of an 8-year-old. As you can see, clearance is great. It's just, you know, clearance everywhere really. There's even more clearance at the rear. So if this thing wants to focus, as you can see, it's completely covered in mud, but plenty of clearance, also down low. So I'm gonna clean the bike, clean myself. Right, so because both my hair and my camera equipment have very strong negative feelings towards rain, we're filming in the office right now, the bike's in the shed. So what is it like to run a 2.6 inch wide Rocket Ron in cross-country usage? First of all, I have to say it feels incredibly fast. The rolling resistance is so low that on average my speed was 1.5 kilometers higher than what it was 2 days ago on the same tour. So that was pretty impressive to me, despite the fact that the tire is so much wider. Now, a lot of people have this idea that the wider the tire, the more rolling resistance there is, and that's not completely true. So basically, with a narrow tire you get an elongated contact patch, whereas with a wider tire you get more square contact patch, and basically some people think that that is why the rolling resistance actually goes down the wider you get your tire. And that was actually shown in the Olympics or in the World Championships time trial with road bikes, people going with wider tires because of that lowered rolling resistance. But what is it like off-road? Because who cares what mountain bike tires feel like on asphalt, right? The rollover is amazing. So it's the 27.5 inch model, and with a 2.6 inch tire on there, it's almost as tall as a 29er. And so rollover is amazing, especially for me, because 4 months ago I was still on a 26 inch bike. So yeah, it just rolls over everything. And because the tire is so wide and I'm running the minimum pressure, because I am running tubes in there, I didn't want to go lower than the minimum pressure. Yeah, it just rolled over everything at 1.5 bars. All these roots, those mini roots or like pieces of tree. Cobblestone was amazing. It just flies over cobblestone. You hardly notice that it's cobblestone at all. So that was amazing. Really fast rolling tires. So the problem with these wider tires is actually more in the slimy mud sort of stuff. So what we have here in Belgium is, especially this time of the year, the ground itself is actually still hard, but on top of it you get like a 2 or 3 centimeter thick layer of just the slimiest mud ever. And wide tires don't like that at all. That was a bit of an issue, so the front would sometimes slip away. That's partially due to the geometry of my bike, but yeah, it's not perfect if you ride in that very slippery top layer of mud. Once the mud gets deeper, where with a narrow tire you would just sink in very deeply, that's where it actually gets better, because you know the reason it doesn't work on the slimy mud is because it floats on top of it instead of cut through it. But with deep mud, you're still floating on top of it and you can just power through that mud. So under power, they're actually very good in deep mud, which was something that I didn't quite expect. What I also found is that on downhill sections, they just carry so much speed. It's actually amazing just how fast you're going. Again, on Strava, got some KOMs with these tires, even though the weather was horrible. So very pleased about that. And I'm looking forward to get more KOMs, especially on cobblestone roads, because there are a few sections where I'm just off of the first place. So that's going to be an interesting experience once it dries up a little bit. Now, as I said, I did run them at the minimum rated pressure and I got 0 punctures. Just, you know, the tires didn't puncture at all, didn't warp them. So you could probably go lower than that 1.5 bars that Schwalbe rates them at. I'll be experimenting with that a lot more later on. But for now, 1.5 actually felt really good. There's not too much deformation in the tire with my weight on it. And it gripped, and it gripped plenty without just burping the tire a lot. So yeah, that's maybe something to experiment with more. Let's see how low I can get. But for my first ride, when I'm going alone on a ride in the rain, I really didn't want to, you know, get a pinch flat by running it at like 1 bar or something silly like that. So I guess then the question is, who is it actually for? I think it's for everyone. If you're a cross-country racer, you may have this idea in your mind that you have to go with the narrowest tires you can get to get really low rolling resistance, and that's not at all true. I would strongly recommend everyone to try out something like a Rocket Ron 2.6. The Knobby Nix 2.6, they may have a bit more rolling resistance because they have these massive knobs on there, whereas the Rocket Rons just have a bunch of very small knobs. So start with the Rocket Rons. That's why I decided to start with them, just because they roll so well. And I'm sure you won't be disappointed if you try out these tires. They may also be for people with a 29er and you want to buy some 650B wheels and just put these tires on there. That may work very well. Your bottom bracket will be slightly lower, but that's okay, really. Just be careful where you put your pedals and you'll be fine. But it's really an interesting experience to ride with these wider tires because the cornering grip is amazing. You won't be using your brakes anymore because you'll just rail every corner with a tire like this. It's just a very interesting experience, and I'm pretty sure that everyone who tries it, not everyone, but most people who try it and who are open-minded to going from that 2-inch, 2.2-inch wide cross-country tire to a 2.6 or 2.8-inch, you guys will be very happy with it. The trail users, you're probably already used to 2.35 wide tires, so the jump to 2.6 isn't too big. Maybe for you guys, you should check out the 2.8s, see how you like those. I can probably fit them on my bike, but because of my measurements, I decided to go with the 2.6s. So guys, if you like this video, please press that like button and the subscribe button. If you have any questions about these tires or any other videos or the channel in general, ask them below. I really read every single comment and I reply to them, and you know, we can have some interaction going on, maybe have a discussion on which tires you guys want to use and how wide you want to use them. So comments, just comment the shit out of this video. Also, if you want to follow it, there's an Instagram page and a Twitter page where I do more regular updates, because I mean, there are a couple of videos in a very short space on this channel right now, but you know, later on it will be mostly Instagram posts, Twitter posts, that sort of stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.